Three, two, one. Alright, we are going live, and I really apologize of the terrible angle this is. But this is not, come here, you. This is not our typical stream that we'd be doing where it's all face cam and us playing some video games. What this is actually going to be, I'm going to be repairing my PC Engine, and I want you to actually be able to see what I'm doing for a change. So I've got the webcam hosted up high to where I can pan it down on the table I'm looking at. And with that, I'm going to try something a little bit different, and I'm going to put some background music on. Hopefully it's not too annoying. I haven't tried it before. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to check it out. And 3, 2, let's do some music. A little retro theme music. This is the chiptune station on Twitch FM on Spotify. Supposedly it's royalty free, so I won't get in trouble for using it. Alright, and with that, let me pull up my map. There we go. Move this keyboard out of the way since I won't be needing it anymore. And give myself a little bit of room here. Alright, so here we go. Panning camera down. Ooh, bam. Okay, here is our workstation, and everything's going to be upside down, so this is what we're doing. This is it. I've already done a region mod on it. That's that little switch right there. But what it actually is my Super CD-ROM 2 is in really bad need of a recap. The audio's starting to go out in it, which means that I have a bad capacitor somewhere, and if I'm going to go ahead and recap 1, I might as well recap 2. So what I've done here, it just came in the mail today, is I went ahead and got my stuff from Console 5. And it's really neat because they have their replacement on the back right there that tells you, everything you're going to be doing. But I've got technically 3 different kits here. This is the one we're going to be using tonight. And then this is a memory capacitor, because might as well replace it while I'm going. And then all of these, oh boy, all of these are going in the Super CD-ROM 2. So I figured it would be much easier to just start with the one with the least caps. Alright, so let me grab my rubbing alcohol because we're going to be doing some cleaning as we go, and we'll get this party started. Alright. This is a standard game bit. I like to have something to where I can keep all the nuts and bolts and screws in as we go. That way I make sure I don't lose anything. On really complicated teardowns, I've seen people recommend taking a piece of cardboard and then sticking the screws through the cardboard and then labeling what they're doing. We won't need this because I believe there's only about 10 screws in total that will be taken apart. I do have to be careful though because I did mod this thing and I've already been inside of it. It is super, super cramped. But there's a really, really fat ribbon cable in here. Go ahead and slide that back. Okay. Get this out of the way. That's my switch. And as you're pulling these apart, this ribbon cable is super, super stiff. So let's go ahead and do this number right here. We don't have to take this off, but I want to go ahead and take it off. That way I can completely remove the case. And once again, please guys, if the music gets too loud, please let me know because it's the first time I've ever tried streaming with music. And I don't know how that's going to work out. Alright. If you're interested, and don't judge my soldering, because I was definitely not as good as I am now back when I soldered this. As a matter of fact, I may actually resolder this. But that tiny, tiny, tiny little chip there. Let's see if I can make it focus. Okay, that tiny, tiny little chip there, which to give you, look at that. That is the hardest thing I've ever modded in my life. It was for it to be a very simple mod, it was actually a very difficult mod. I don't mind telling anybody that. It was a real pain in the tuchus. Okay. So, first things first. I want to unsolder this. That way I can just get it out of the way. Alright. Put a little flux on here. Because this is one of the capacitors we're going to be taking off tonight. See if I can get them all three at once. There we go. Alright, now we can set the case completely to the side. Alright. But yeah, the good thing about, you know, doing this stuff over and over again is you get a little better as time goes on. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that because like I said, I did a good job on this for my first attempt, but I've definitely learned how to do things a lot better now. Let's see. Okay. So, we've got the mod chip pretty much unscrewed again. Now, I want to take this off. It's really, really simple to do, so it just got a little bolt holding it under there. Go ahead and grab my pliers. Being real gentle not to scratch anything. Come on, darling, let go. There we go. Okay. And the reason we're doing this, we want access to all of these switches. Okay. And once again, being very, very careful with this ribbon cable, because the last thing I want to do is break one of the leads off. Okay. Let's see, I need to go ahead and unsolder. Oh, where'd it go? That ground that I run to the pin. That way, it won't be in the way. Trying to keep everything comfortable in my hand and looking good on stream's a little harder than you would think it would be. Come on, darling. Get warm. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to turn her back over. Want to be ultra careful with that, because that is connected to a pin that I lifted. I can't remember which pin offhand it is, but I do know if that pin breaks off, I essentially have to buy a new PC Engine, because it is pretty much unfixable. I mean, it's pretty much toast at that point. Okay. So, I'm not messing around with any of these. Some of them may be fine, some of them may not, but I don't care. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be replacing every one of them just in case. Now, I'm also going to be doing a little board cleanup too, just to ensure that none of these caps are busted. But I actually know the majority of these are okay. Typically, I would recommend taking a picture. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my own advice right now. Go ahead and take a picture. that way I have future reference. I'm going to head and also, because I am going to resolder this, I'm going to make that look a little better later. Like I said, I've learned a lot about soldering and soldering techniques since I first did this. So I want to note these right here, up here, and over here, and the board as a whole. Alright. That's just for my future references. Okay. Go ahead and continue snipping. I'm being very, very careful to snip as high on the capacitor as I can, because I don't want to accidentally scratch the green off of the motherboard here. And I would just start unsoldering on these, but I want as clean of a surface as I can to start with, because I don't want to apply a ton of heat to these capacitors. So I said some of them may be damaged, and they may be leaking electrolytic fluid out, and that's not something I am super interested in. As a matter of fact, if I were smart, I would probably be wearing rubber gloves or something at this point, because like I said, some of these may be leaking. I don't believe any of them are right now, because I've actually had no issues out of the core Grafx 2. All of my issues are coming out of the CD unit, and I know I have a bad cap in it because of the sound issues. That's typically the culprit when you start losing sound. Is you have there's a row of about 5 capacitors on it, and one of them could be the culprit there. Hey, a little Sonic the Hedgehog remix. Okay, I like that. I really need to get something to put these old caps in. Here we go. So sure enough, I have kitty cats, as you know, and I do not want the kitty cats to eat one of these in case I missed one or one falls on the floor. But we've got just about all of these cut off. I can see some of these are going to definitely be easier to replace than others, because some of these are awfully strange positions. Okay. But one of the reasons I want to be so careful with this is NEC motherboards are notorious for being, well, kind of garbage. All right. I'm going to rub a little flux across all of this. That way I can just kind of touch it again. And I'll be able to see what's nasty and what's not. Really get some flux in this one because I'm going to have to unsolder this one. Now, they did send 2 SMDs, and that may not be the correct terminology, to perform a jail bar fix. And I'll be honest, I don't experience any jail bar issues with it, so I may at a future point crack this back open and do it again. But basically all I'm doing right now is I'm touching all the points, kind of using the flux kind of burn some of that crap off. And I'm also smelling right now, because if I had any kind of capacitor leak, it would smell like fish. Oh, right there. This capacitor right here, the C109, it had a little leak. I can see the garbage on it. Hey, I went ahead and lifted the pin with that. Let's go ahead and take that off there. You know what? Why double work? Let's go ahead and do that too. Let's see, I need somewhere to stick those. Let me grab a something. Whew. Man, you can really smell that fish. Ugh. Some of those darlings definitely had some ew in them. Pardon the noise for a minute. I'm cutting a bottle open real quick. That way, I've got a little trash can. Alright. What's funny is I cut open a brand new bottle. I'm actually going to be using it for my alcohol later. Come here, you. Okay. I wish I could get a little bit of a
of a tighter zoom on this, but I've got that Canon T6i, but I don't have a way to hook it up right now to where I can stream with it. There's that fish smell again. Whew. Didn't know I was going to need a gas mask. Holy cow. Oh. Kind of sad the Sonic the Hedgehog song's over with. That was really good. I really, really enjoyed that. Well, not getting that one. We'll have to pull it from the other side. It's a very tedious process, and we're not even going good yet. Okay, let's swap hands here. Good news is all of these, well, none of these rather is what I meant, none of these are surface mounts, so they are quite a bit easier to get to. One thing I do see in my future is I see some precision pliers coming in my future. The The flush cutters are doing a good job, but could definitely be better. Ooh, there's that fish smell again. Holy cow. Of course, all of this would be much easier if I had a reflow machine or a rework menu. Whoa, that sounds. Shh. Shh. Ooh, no ads playing. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to play ads, so hush that up, please. Oh, my word. Ooh, that is such a terrible smell. I thought that these were in pretty good shape. Come to find out, I may have been very mistaken. Because they are definitely not smelling very pretty.
Okay. We can turn the music back on now.
Hey, Chrono Trigger. That is a super great RPG if you've never played it. I feel like it gets outshadowed a lot because, you know, it doesn't have Final Fantasy in the name. Oh! Whew! Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some board scrubbing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep making that loud, obnoxious noise, but you guys just don't... Whew. It's bad, guys. Okay. Yes, no. Well, I guess that one wants to go through the board, which I am perfectly A-okay with. You know what? I may through-board the rest of these. Okay. Let's get the one on top first. Let me try to grab it again here. But no, one of the reasons I really wanted to try this music out is for stuff like this. Let's be honest, unless I am carrying on a super cool conversation, this could kind of get boring. To be honest, unless you're just like fascinated by circuits and watching people do repair work and stuff like that, unless this is like super your thing. And even then, I may not be the most entertaining person to watch doing this. So I thought, a little music would at least break up the monotony, and it would cover up some of the times when I'm going to be super quiet because I'm focusing on something big. Okay. Let's go ahead. This is when I need a third hand. Let's see, which I just happen to have a third hand. Let's see if there's something I can bite on without. See, I haven't used this third arm in so long. It's actually a little bit rusty. Okay. Come on, darling. I want you to slide over here. I want you slide like that, like that. Okay. That's pretty gentle right there. Okay. C101. C101. Alright, now we're going up to C150 and C160. I don't know if I've ever told any of you this or not, but one of the things that got me into wanting to do stuff like this was I was always really fascinated with electronics growing up. And to be honest, I thought that one day I may do this kind of stuff for a living. Thought that would be super cool to like develop circuit boards and mess with processors and things like that. I thought that would be really, really cool. And basically, I would tinker with everything. Now there's one more. You just thought I forgot about you. But I like to make tube amplifiers out of old AM radios. Old tube AM radios. I just thought that was, just such a cool thing. And that's kind of how I got started on it. I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I used to always take my radio controlled cars apart. And, ooh, that went flying. I would take my radio control cars apart and, like, rewire them, or hardwire them. And, oh, that flux is dry. When I would do that, it's heavy flux, I'd make it to where I could run them off of C batteries instead of, AAAs or 9-volt, stuff like that. That way I could play with them for a lot longer. Set this to the side. And that honestly was where it first started. But like I said, the turning old radios into tube amps, that was like the first thing I started doing. Which is funny because it's probably one of the most dangerous things I ever did. But I knew about these capacitors and how dangerous they are. Because, back then there really wasn't internet to tell you how to do stuff like that. As a matter of fact, everybody you would talk to would tell you how stupid it was to do it, because those capacitors, if they're not drained, they can hold power in them for a really, really long time. And by a really long time, I mean a really long time. Sometimes years. And there are some other things that I won't do at this time, because I know enough about it to know that I have no business messing with it. And that's like going inside of anything with a CRT tube, like an old fat TV, because those are super, super dangerous too. And that's a good way to get kablooied. And I'm not really interested in getting kablooied. Okay. That is all except for this darling right here. This darling right here is going to be fun because I can't clip up underneath it. That is the 162. It's our biggest capacitor, and it's also the one that is the absolute closest to the board, so I cannot get my flush cutters up under it. So what I'm going to try to do is reheat this pull up and see if I can very gently bend the leg. Last thing I want to do is like slip and just rip a bunch of vias or a bunch of traces. That would be terrible. Just like I almost did there. Holy crap, I need to be more gentle. Let's see, let's do it like this. That works much better. Let's pull the old solder sucker out, see if I can just suck the solder off of it. Why waste time with it when you just suck the solder off of it, right? Didn't quite get it all there. Okay. Okay. So the whole point of that is so I could unsolder it just a little bit, and boy is this cap getting hot. This is why I don't like doing this crap. Okay. Now I should be able to get my flush cutters up under it and clip one, if not both of the legs. Alright, there's one. Let's see if I can get that other one now. Alright. Whew. Oh, that's nasty. Ew. Yep. Ew. Okay. Apparently I was wrong when I thought this one was in better shape. I'm gonna put some goopity goop right here, so I can clean all this up here in just a second. Okay. That's enough goopity goop for right now. So we're gonna do a lot of cleaning on here. Okay. Well, that one leg just does not want to come out of there. Here we go. Hey, I forgot a leg. I sure did. Okay. Alright, that's all of them. Now it's isopropyl time. This is nothing special, just 91 proof. A Q-tip.
Look at that. That's just disgusting.
I couldn't think of a better song to be playing right now. While I'm doing this, go ahead and just clean the whole dadgum thing. Because chances are it may be a super long time until I ever open this thing up again. And because there were a few of those caps leaking, I'm actually kind of scared that if I don't go ahead and clean everything, there may be some deterioration that I don't know about, because there may be some garbage left on the board. And I definitely don't want there to be any garbage left on the board, because I don't know
if these will continue to get expensive,
or rather more expensive. But, you know, right now, Core Grafx and Core Grafx 2s are definitely not that expensive. You know, you can get one $20-30 straight from Japan still, which is really, really handy. But eventually that stock is bound to dry up. I mean, it's got to. I mean, I know they produce millions of these things, but you know, at some point you just gotta go, there's not gonna be any more of these, you know? Okay.
gonna let that dry out for a second. Grab me a drink. And I'm not a fan of this. What is that? Let's go ahead and next. And there we go. Try something different. Drink of the night. Starbucks double shot. White chocolate, my favorite chocolate. Alright, now that I've cleaned that, I'm going to take some flux and paint this board with it. Because I'm going to be trying to suck all the solder off of all of these points. Well, guess might want to also do this capacitor up here. Hello. Definitely want to clean that out. That is our hue card slot. And boy, we don't see it very often. Ooh, there's a chunk of something in there. Gross. It amazes me, just sitting on a shelf, how much garbage collects in these, you know? Okay. There we go. Handy dandy solder sucker.
I've actually got those holes clear. That had a nice funky bass tone.
Never stops. It's constantly changing, evolving, moving forward. And so are we. Introducing Spectrum Mobile. Click to learn more. Built on America's largest and most reliable LTE network, combined with a nationwide...
I wish I had one of those nice Haku, like 908s, I think they're called. 708, I can't remember exactly what the desoldering gun is. But it would be really, really nice for stuff like this.
Man, I just can't get on that one quick enough.
It's really awkward. There we go.
Come on, darling, you're being
So mean.
There we go. Alcohol out of the way real quick. Oh, set this down for just a second. Move some of the stuff around. I feel like everything's in my way. Well, I had a message. All right. Hey, I may have some folks coming in here in just a second. Some new folks. Well, yo, Big Ben, what's happening, brother? All right. Yeah, you missed the first part of this, but basically what we're doing is I've taken all these capacitors and we're going to replace them in my PC Engine Core Grafx 2. The main reason is that my Super CD-ROM 2, it has actually kind of gone bad. And what it is that I have I've got a couple capacitors going bad in the audio, so I know that they're leaking onto the board, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. I saw you were playing some Mercenaries.
I really need to check that game out. Is Mercenaries an Xbox exclusive? hate when I do that. This thing is so slick, it's not even funny. But yeah, I've got all of the capacitors out now. And I've cleaned the board a couple of times. I'm gonna have to do one more clean just to be satisfied with myself. But I want to get all the solder I can sucked out of these holes. That way when I put the new caps in, they will be much, much easier. This manual solder sucker, you know, it was like $8, $7, something like that. It really wasn't that expensive. And it does the job well enough. But I swear I would love to have something just a little bit different. Because it is mighty awkward. But, you know. Oh, man. It's just, you know, like I was saying earlier, I had a fascination when I was younger about taking my remote control cars apart and, like, putting 2 motors in them instead of 1. Or, you know, wiring them up to where I would hardwire them. Take all the remote control function out of it and hardwire it, because I just thought that was cool. You know, completely ruin like a $10 dollar store toy. I never had a nice one because they knew I was going to take it apart. But I would fix it to where I didn't have to have like AAA batteries or AA batteries, stuff like that. But when I was older, I really got into electronics because I thought it would be super cool to turn old radios into tube amps. And I did that for a while. And had fun with it. But it wasn't until I started getting into older video games that having to solder really came into play. Because like this right here, it's a $30 console hooked up to a much more expensive console. And this is just something you've got to do with 30-year-old consoles sometimes. For them to be such great consoles and so innovative for the time, they used about the cheapest stuff that they could find. And these old capacitors just leak at some point, and they just eat these boards alive. So it's best to do them before you start having trouble. Yeah, I always wanted to do that too. I always wanted to hook up the solar panels out of the calculators and like make my own light or something, but I never got around to doing it when I was little. Oh, I made them. I don't want to call it a monorail because it's technically not a monorail, but that was one of my science fair projects one time. Ooh, those last two are going to be a booger to get without standing the board back up. Oh. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. There we go. All right. Let's see. We'll check all this one more time. Oh, almost forgot that one up here again. Look at that. I'm going to hell if I don't quit doing that. Oh, this one's super awkward. Oh my goodness. Wonder if I can touch it from the bottom. No, that don't work. Probably gonna end up bridging something if I do that. Just struggle through like this. Now, sometimes to unsolder something, you actually got to add a little more solder to it to give it something to grab onto. That's a trick I learned watching Game Tech US. This is the PC Engine Core Grafx 2. Don't know if you've ever heard of a Grafx, but it is the Japanese version. And it is immensely cheaper, which is why most people go for it. Not sure if you've ever seen one or not. Let me go grab one of the games for it. But yeah. So, you know, wait. Okay, so we're all familiar with, you know, NES games, right? Well, I want to show you something. This is a console that is an 8-bit console. And it is nearly the size of an NES cartridge. Is that not crazy? Now, obviously, it's much thicker. Like, the whole thing put together is like 3 cartridges right here. All right. And instead of having a traditional cartridge like that, they'd come in CD cases like this. And they've got these games that are credit card sized. See, that's the game right there. That's it. So, you know, pop it in, turn it on, have fun. Yeah. Yeah, this. There you go. I mean, like, look at that. It's amazing that the graphics we got out of this, which obviously, you know, the actual circuit board's only down here. But the graphics we got out of this were equal or better than this. It's insane. But yeah, in America, we had the Grafx. And in Japan, we had the PC Engine.
PC Engine. Super awesome console. Oh, I was showing it earlier. You see that tiny little chip right there? That is the region mod chip that I installed in this when I first got it. That was all kinds of a pain in the butt because it's so tiny. I mean, look at that. It's not even a full digit of my finger, you know. And it's all these little solder points. It was very tough. It definitely made me a much better solderer. Alright, back to what we were doing here. If I can just get this to sit still just a little bit. Because as soon as I get this undone here. Boy, that is just not wanting to suck through. There we go. Pay dirt. I think it's almost time to have to clean this thing out. There we go. Alright, that is all of them. Woo! We can get to the fun stuff again. AKA more isopropyl. Go ahead and get this bottom too, just in case the cap did a little leaking. Really scrub this board down now because we are about to be in business. I've also got to remember that there may be little shards of solder from the solder sucker on here. So I also got to be careful and swap these out. Hey! I'm getting hosted. Alright. Thank you, Ben. You are a king among men, sir. That is pretty cool. Not even gonna lie. But yeah, like I said, I want to give this a final little scrub down here. And I will probably go through 500,000 Q-tips doing this. Ooh. Ooh. I like this. This is my jam. Legend of Zelda it is. Okay. Alright. So, I should be using compressed air. I'm all out, just like I'm all out of solder wick right now, but I got some coming. But for now, let's see. I believe we've got all, looking through the board, every hole appears to be clear. Oh yeah. Yeah, all the holes are clear. The board's good and clean. All the connections are shiny again. So we're definitely going down the right path. Now, now the fun part. Let's get everything out of the way that doesn't matter. I'm going to wipe the table down just in case there's any of that old solder from the solder sucker floating around.
I want to make sure nothing possibly can contaminate the board while I'm doing all the punch throughs. So give me just a moment to get this cleaned up, and we're about to get soldering. I'm still here. But yeah, like I said, this, I want to get everything out of the way real fast, because when we start soldering this baby, we are definitely going to need all the room we can get, because I want the table to be as clean as possible. Let's see, go ahead and toss that alcohol. I'm done with it for right now. Put those back over there. Put you down here. Just picked up this liquid soldering flux, and I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it or not. I always use soldering paste before, and it just, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. You know, I mean, it's what all the pros use. I get why they use it, because supposedly it's a lot better, but I don't know. It ain't doing it for me. Okay. So let's bring the board back down. Oh yeah, Console 5 sent me an atomic fireball when I bought my cap kit from them. I think that right there is super cool, because that is actually one of my favorite candies. And when I'm not running my mouth, let me pull up my part. Okay, when I'm not running my mouth, is it true that you can fry a board just from the static built up in your body? Yes and no. Some components are super sensitive to electrostatic, and that's why. Ooh, that's really loose. Holy cow! I need to put a new DIN switch in there. But that's why if you ever notice computer parts, things like that, they come in those really funky see-through but not really see-through bags. Sometimes they're like red, sometimes they're kind of a black silver and stuff like that. That is a electrostatic free packaging. Yes, you can damage components by the static in your body, but with that being said, you kinda gotta, you know, what am I trying to say here? Basically, if you discharge before you touch the board, you're fine. And obviously never ever work on anything that's plugged in, and don't rub your feet across the carpet a bunch with wool socks, right? But yeah, I discharge a lot. Let's see, I actually, come here, you. I'm gonna put these in here so I can use this bulb to make sure I don't miss any capacitors. Okay, I've got plenty of those. Okay, that one. This is what I want to make sure I don't miss, because I don't know where that goes. Okay. Let's see, let me read these. This is a 47. This is a 22. $47. Obviously, that's a big boy. Okay, that's another 47. So 10. Get in there. These are my 1050s, and these should be all the 25s, right? These are my 25s. These are my 150s. Okay. All right, got it. Ugh. Ooh, ooh. Almost missed you. 25, 47. All right. On these, something real cool. Let's see here. All right. You notice how one leg is longer than the other? All right. The long leg always signifies positive, but if you've already cut these legs and you're not sure of which one's which, if you'll look at it, there's always some kind of stripe going down it, and it normally has a little negative symbol. Come on, let's focus. Focus. This webcam sucks for this. But anyway, there is a little negative symbol in this silver stripe here. Sometimes they won't be a negative symbol. Sometimes they'll be a 0. Like in the case of this one actually has zeros on it. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Alright. Where's my permanent marker? There we go. Okay, so the C201, that one is our 1016, which should be this little darling one down here. Nope. It's this one. Are you my 1016? You're my 6020. 1016. 10 UFs. Okay. It is a 10 UF 16. Okay, a 10 UF 16 has been replaced with a 10 UF 50. It's 20 UF 50. Where? 10 UF 50. Okay, here we go. Okay, so positive. Remember what we're saying? Negative is always striped. We're going to go positive, negative. We're going to bring it all the way down. Focus. Ooh, shaky hand time. Okay. Adding a little flux. Okay. Negative. Push it all the way through down there. And I want to solder the hardest spot first. It will be this spot right here. Start by putting just a little on here. So I can 10. And there we go. We're well on our way. Go ahead and add a little bit and pop. Beautimus. Let's clean that up just a little bit. Okay. And a little tip. Game Tech US told me. Well, he didn't tell me personally. I was watching his stream one night. Is always save solder legs. Save capacitor legs. Because you never ever know when you gonna need them. Alright, now we're done with that one. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down. We are done with the top now. Okay. Start over here. Gonna do the C159 first. C159. I'm actually just gonna pour this flux in the cap. I don't like sticking it in the bottle. That's actually making me really, really nervous. Okay. Because I am so scared of cross-contamination, I'm probably going to pour that entire bottle of flux in the garbage later. Alright, C159. C159 is a 47 UF25, which we have right there. Alright, long leg, positive. Short leg, negative. Now, this board, try to get it close. Maybe you can see it. But this board, it has the positives marked. But just in case it didn't, the negatives will always be marked by something. It's typically like a little solid circle or something, really similar to what's right there. I'm not sure if you can see that solid circle I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about a cross-contamination just in case there's some junk left. Just in case there's a little bit of junk somewhere left from when I was cleaning. I don't want to run a risk of anything like that. Let's see here. Alright. Got the little California lean going here. Once again, I want to solder the hard one first. And then solder the easy leg. There we go. That's a little pulled up. Let me go ahead. There we go. Alright. Now, I'm not going to be clipping all the legs every time like I was before. And the main reason for that, let me go ahead and mark all of these that I've replaced. The main reason for that is that now, at this point, I really don't have to. Because I know all of these are going to be good. Okay. Hard leg first. Oh, there's that Sonic Jam again. Now the easy leg. Okay. see. I think I want to do this one right here next, which is a
C101. It is 22 UF 25. 22 UF 25. Ooh, let's see here. Should be U, correct? 22 UF 50. Do I have a 22 UF 25? C101. C101 22 UF 25 volt. Okay. 22 UF 25 volt is the 2250 is our replacement. 2250. Aha! See, I had it in my hand the whole time. A long leg, a shorter leg. Okay. Little dab of flux. A little flux won't hurt you. Hard side first. Ooh. Wow. There we go. Easy side. There we go. Okay. We're going to do C102 before C103 because if we do C103, well, let me make it easier. See how, and it's going to be really important when we get into this cluster over here, but you see how C102 has a switcher here, C103. So if we put C103 in first, we are not going to be able to get soldering iron to C102. So if you do decide to start doing like this, you kind of got to think middle out. Otherwise, you'll essentially solder yourself into a corner. So the C102, that is a 4725, which we should have right here, 4725. Go ahead and flux her up. Flux both of these up while I'm doing it. Positive and negative. Get it down there. Okay. Now, this one's gonna be a little tough. Got it? It's got a little more solder on it than I would appreciate it having. So I'm going to just basically try to touch it and thin it. There we go. Okay. Now, remember, hard side then easy side every time. There we go. There's that darling. C103 is a 4725. Make sure, 4725. L positive, L negative. Work that little darling down there.
we are making some progress. Okay. Let's get this very gently on that ribbon cable bent out of the way. Where is the paintbrush? Go ahead and do a little dab on all of this. Okay. So here we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 10 capacitors in a row. Let's see if I can get it a little zoomed in a little closer there. See, we have 10 in a row here. And I'm almost going to bet the majority of them is going to be these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So yeah. These, we have to remember, middle out. Do the hardest to reach out every time. If you don't, you are going to have a really bad time. Go ahead and set this in here. Alright, so first one we're going to do, the one I think will be the hardest to get to later, is the C116. The C116 is a 1050. Right here is a 1050. C116. Alright, so positive, negative, positive, negative. There we go. Nope, I didn't follow my rule. I did the easy side first. Oh, way down. There we go. Now this one I probably will have to clip the legs each time. Because it's going to be some really, really tight quarters. Okay. The next hardest I see is the C111. C111 is a 1UF50, which should be one of these, and it is. It is. Okay, positive and a negative. This is why, right here, in case you were curious, this is why we have to be so careful about getting those holes cleaned out of the old solder. Which, then again, if any of the caps were leaking, you would really, really want that crap out of there anyway. But, just to really reiterate, why you do that is you want these to poke through as easily as possible and without tearing any of the traces up. Do, 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 do. Where did that leg go? No. The vacuum lighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That thing definitely went flying somewhere. Whew. Okay. Next hardest, I would imagine, would be the C110, which is right there. It may have actually needed to be gone through first. So that is C110. C110 is another one of these darlings. Okay. This is going to be a challenge for me. Because I've got the El Cheapo soldering iron. There we go. I think my flux is starting to dry up just a little bit. Go ahead and reapply. Never heard anyone say you can use too much flux. Never ever. Okay, so our next hardest one is C163. C163 is a 1050. The 1050 is 1025, 47. Hold on. Ruh-roh. Ah. Kinda. I have a map of where everything goes, and I boo-booed. I definitely boo-booed. I was off a line here. Whew. That little bugger on top, I was off a line. That one didn't get a 1050. That one got a 1016. This one right here is going to be a little challenging to get in there now because I've already clipped it and used it. Okay, so C163. Say 1050. See, we've got a positive, get in there, and a negative. Kind of straighten that leg out just a little bit. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Boy, I can't believe I did that. I've been so careful this entire time doing it. And the very first one I put in, I put the wrong capacitor in, which I thought it was wrong. I thought it was too big. but it did say that there were some replacements in there and that kind of thing would happen. So I didn't think too much about it. I'm super glad I caught it when I did, which I would have caught it eventually, because just like that, I did not have enough of the correct. Now I've got to pull this solder out of this one again. Okay, there we go. Clean with isopropyl. Anytime you desolder something, you want to rub it down, just in case there's any of that old solder on there. I'm going to clean that flux off of there again. Just a second to dry. Alright. A new flux. There we go. Just like we never did it. Okay, the 201 is a 1016, which is a 150. 150. Should be one of these darlings. Yep, 150s. Okay, a positive goes in and a negative. Get it down there. 1, 2. There's surface mount kits available for this. To be honest, I'm barely. I barely feel confident enough doing regular caps. Surface mount caps would give me a nightmare. Come on, lay down. Lay down. There we go, no cold joints. Yep, okay. Right. Pull some of the solder off of here. Some of the solder off of there. I got it caked up just a little bit. Okay. Ooh, I saw you fall by that power switch. Okay. Get off there. Hey, there's that leg I was missing. I knew I'd find it. Okay. So, where were we? We were over here. Very gentle, very gentle. Gentle, gentle. Whew. Where were we? Where were we, huh? It's almost time to clean the old soldering iron off. There we go. Got her good and clean again. Shiny, shiny. Okay, who's going to be the hardest pickle next? I'm going to say either that 156 there, or this 14. Let's go ahead and do this 14. solder, or can't talk.
This flux.
Definitely dries. I'm not sure if I like that or not. Come on now. Unwrap. Unwrap. You know what? This is why y'all are marked. For this reason right here. Okay. Make one sure 114 is a 1UF50. 1UF50. Got a positive. Come on. And negative. Get down in there. So, gotta ask, are you enjoying this? Like, is this a pleasant view? Obviously, if it were zoomed in a little more, it would be nicer. And you know what? I may actually be able to zoom this in. I didn't even think about that earlier. Let's see here. Let's see, let's go into settings. Properties. Let's see here. See if it's gonna let us do it. Oh, this may completely brick everything. Let's see here. Oh, I can zoom in. Oh, baby, ooh, baby. Boy, I did not realize I could zoom in. Okay. Let me... Let's see, I'm working right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in some more. Alright, that's as far as it's going to zoom. Okay. Alright. Alright, it may be a little grainy, but at least you may be able to see what's going on now. I cannot believe I did not think about zooming this thing in. Alright, so now we're going to do this C115. And for the most part, I guess what I could do is I could find where the 4725 goes. 159, 160, 50. There's only so many more spots left. Let's see, what's a 115? 115 is a 1UF50. One UF50. Alright. Negative side, short leg. Positive side, long leg. It's got some garbage on it. Get off of there, piece of tape. Boy, I may just zoom this right back out. Because if I barely move at all, you lose all the action. And to be honest, it doesn't look like I'm giving much of a better... Yeah, I don't think this looking any better, to be honest. Let me zoom this back out. Come on. I love how it always... Come on. Okay. Refocus. All right. There we go. All right, so we're putting this 115 in. There we go. Actually, we want to add a little more to this one right here. I don't really like it. Okay. Alright, yep, that's good. Alright, next would be the C108. Alright, C108 is 1 UF50. I have a feeling we're going to be saying that quite a bit from here on out, because that's basically all the caps we have left. Alright, positive, negative. Okay. C112 is next. C112 is a 1 UF50. Positive, negative. Okay. C109. C109 is a 1 UF50. Okay, C109. There's no telling what he's doing. That boy, sometimes he will fall asleep while playing Warframe or while playing Assassin's Creed. He's really been into Assassin's Creed here lately. He's trying to beat the last one before the new one comes out. Or I don't know, it may already be out and he just doesn't have it. I haven't kept up with the Assassin's Creed series. But I know last night we were in a party and we were chatting it up, having a good time, and then the next thing I know, he just goes quiet. And then like 10 minutes later, I just heard so I started yelling into the mic and he's like, "Oh, guess I fell asleep. Sorry about that." Which, I can't say anything. I'm just as guilty. Yeah. Yeah, he's... Oh. Hey, no ads.
No ads.
You are not paying me. Sure, you're allowing me to listen to your music for free. But yeah, I've done the same thing. I've fallen asleep on them.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give him crap about it. Oh no, I got an ad on my Spotify.
Yeah. It was for a Spanish music channel. I've been muting the ads. It would be my luck.
That would be the way I would get a copyright flag. Because all of this is royalty-free music that Twitch provides. Well, I say Twitch provides. Artists provide it to Twitch. And then we get it like this. And I'll listen to their ads, but I don't want to stream their ads. Boy, I probably just shook the camera. Alright, C113. Let me go back to my map here. C113, 1 UF50, I figured it would be. Positive, negative, get her down. Okay. Put a little crook in my solder there to make it a little easier to get to. But too much of a crook. Come on, get out of the way. There we go. There we go. Okay, boys and girls, we're getting super close. We've got just a handful left. We've got oh boy, C156, 154, and 155. Okay, hold on just a minute here. I want to make sure I haven't made a mistake again. Alright, 155. C116. Where's C116 at? Ah, did I do it again? Okay. C156. I swear that's what 156 is right here. 156 is a 1 UF50. 54 is a 1 UF50. 155 is a 1 UF50. I've got two 1 UF50s left. 10U. Okay. I don't know if I can or not. I just really don't want to chance it. Okay. See. I want to track this darling down because I have a feeling wherever this darling goes is where I have made a mistake. Because I am not supposed to have capacitors left. C101 is a 22. Wait. Oh, the 1025. Where? 1025.
10UF25. UF25 was supposed to be replaced by a 10UF50, which I did that. They may have accidentally shorted me a capacitor.
Let's see here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count this. Okay. One. All right. C108. Let's start from the edge here. Go ahead and mark these as they go. Okay. Where's 108 at? It's 10. 63. Okay. 108 is that one right there.
Okay.
109. This one right here. 110. Which one was 110? So 109, 108. Alright, all up in. Here we go. 110. 111, 111, 112, 112, 113, 113, 114, 114, 115, 115, 116 is a 10 UF50. 116, 10 UF50. 154, which is that one. It's 155 is this one right here, which is the next one. 156 right here is also one, and I'm one short. Yeah. Okay, let's double check. 163 was a 10 UF50. 10 UF50, yep. Okay. C101 is a 2225, which is a 2250. C101 is a 2250, which it is a 2250. Okay. 159 is a 4725, and it is a, get up there where I can read you, a 4725. Yes, it is. C160 is a 4725. Yep. C102 should be a 2547. So 4725. Ooh. C102. Say 4725. Yep. C103. say 4725. 4725. Yes, sir. Yes, right there. Okay. Yep, I have double checked every capacitor I've installed. C201, say 10UF16. UF16. 10UF16 should be a 10UF50. Wait a minute.
Whew.
Okay, hold on. I've got to figure out what happened where. 201 is a 10UF16. 10UF16 was. Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that there is a small error because this 201 here is a 10UF16 volt. And on the manual, it says a 10UF16 should be substituted with a 10UF50. Okay? But we don't have any 10UF50s left. What we do have is a 10UF25. That would be the next size up. That is where our missing capacitor was. Son of a gun. I'm getting really, really tired of unsoldering this point. Got me again. In case you're curious, it's a little over 2 hours. It's a little over 2 hours. Come on, darling. There we go. Whew. You little stinker, you. Okay. Yep, you go here. Okay. I've got like next to no leg to solder on here now because, like a dummy, I followed the instructions too closely and out of order. If I would have done them where I did that one last, because obviously it would have been the easiest one to do, I would have known. I would have definitely known that that is not where that goes. That it is where this goes. You know what? I'm not putting that one in yet. It's cursed. It is cursed. Oh. Okay, 154. 154 is a 1UF50. Positive and negative. Da. Come on, straighten back out for me. Ah. Little flux on that last hole there. Okay. This is one nice thing about being ambidextrous. So I definitely have a much easier time swapping hands to solder. Okay. Now before we continue, by the way, there is definitely that big boy, which goes there. One of these left. Which is a 4725. 1016. This one definitely goes up here. There's no doubt about it now. And that's what I thought to begin with. But the guide said that that was a replacement capacitor. And I listened to it. Okay. So let's verify these one last time. A 156. 156 is a 1UF50. Yes, it is. 154. 154 is a 1UF50. Yes, it is. 155. 155 is a 1UF50. All of these are verified now. Okay. So, before I do anything else, let's go ahead and flip the Starlin over, peel all these legs up real quick, and start cutting these darlings. And I gotta say, this playlist of music is definitely much longer than I expected it to be. Let's pull some of that off of there. That is a lot of solder. That one must have been kind of difficult to get to. Okay. So These that kind of ball up on the bottom where it ran through, I'm just kind of dip-dobbing. We'll make sure I'm good on both sides. Okay, I'll add a little more to this one. So I don't like. There we go. Just a little more. Alright, feel good with it. Snip some legs. Mr. Left for Redder, what do you think about the playlist for tonight? I haven't even asked. Have you enjoyed the tunes, sir? Buttons. Get off of there. Come on, off of there. Whew. And just think, there are like 5 times as many of these in the Grafx CD. Like, I'll probably have to do that on a weekend during the day. Because holy crap. This one took me this long. Oh, I can't imagine how long the other one's going to take. So I said, there is a ton. And I mean a ton of these little darlings. Alright, I want to make sure. I'll go back, clip some of these. Okay, as long as they're shorter than that loop right there, we're good. Because that loop definitely hangs down further. To go through all my stuff again. Okay. for like the 30th time. All right. Last time we're isopropyl in here. I hope. Okay, C201 is a 10UF16, which is not included in the kit. The replacement part is a 10UF25. There is no doubt about it now. So, positive, negative. And I swear on all that's holy. That is what I said earlier in the stream, that the little one has to go up here. But for some reason, I didn't listen to my gut when the map told me to do it differently. Okay, can verify this one now. Check underneath. Put just a little more on there. Reflow that just a fuzz. Alright, all that's left now is Big Boy. Okay, this one is the one we definitely do not want to put in backwards. We don't want to put any of them in backwards. Okay. Perfect. No. Well, trick I did there, I did a reverse flow solder on that one because remember, that one's so close to the mount, you can't really get to it. Okay, let's look around. Alright. Okay, now, before I get too crazy, just want to rub around and get some of this old flux off here. Just a little quick scrub, nothing special. You don't have to do this, I don't believe. I don't believe there's any spec that says remove excess flux. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if there is a such thing as excess flux, but this is something I've just always felt like doing. And it also gives me an opportunity to rub over the board in case there are any microparticles solder shaving anywhere on it, I have the opportunity to then repair that. Okay. Alright, so before we had our, I believe this is the 27 pin, if I'm not mistaken, connected to ground, and I actually want to, I could connect it just pin to pin like that.
Click the banner for Hip Hop 2000s. Over 24 hours of the greatest hip hop and R&B from the past 15 years. Instantly create your own library. Every artist, every hit. Outkast, Future, Beyonce, Nas, A$AP Rocky, Kanye, and more.
I could definitely take it to that capacitor, but I don't want to do that. I want to kind of reroute the wire the way I had it, which was to, I believe, this point. Yeah, this point right here was where I grounded it to before. I actually want to get a new wire because that one was a little funky. I'd gotten the lead way too long on that. Okay. Okay, this one is what we're doing now. This isn't part of the recapping. This is actually just me putting back the region mod I put on it before. See if I can get some of that, yeah, get all that old gunk off of there from back before I really knew much about soldering. There we go. And we got nice leg on leg contact here. There we go. Now, very gently, where am I going with this again? I'm going to here. Let me see where is this at? Come here, you. Let's see, you go like. Come on. Okay, so that's going to go in like that. This should be routed. Trying to be super gentle because once again, if that leg breaks, it's game over, man. Game over. Could actually go right here. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that pin to hold it right here. ahead of that, bend her around. Bring it to right there. Okay, which means that point right there. Need my wire strippers. Where's my box? That would have been really funny. That would have been super funny. Okay. Get off her. Make sure this is all part of the same via. And it is. Still think I may go. All of this is ground. Yeah, there. All of that's ground. Yep, so I want to go there. Okay. So apply a little flux onto our wire here. Apply a little flux right there. I want to really pull this solder up first. Okay. I really want to pull that up there. Because I really only have one shot at this. Okay. Knew it was going to do that. I need something to hold up against that, but I don't want to scratch my vias. There we go. Really pull that up good. Because I want this wire to be anchored by this point, not that point. I do not want that pin pulled. Now, clip off that excess there. Okay, now I have that removed from there. I can now put this back in, which is a heat sink. Okay, it goes right there and right there. Boys and girls, we're getting close. We're getting super, super close. I'll take one final look at this board. Make sure I haven't missed anything anywhere. Okay, we look good there. Line that spacer up. Threading this through. Lock the flat washer. Regular. Okay. Yeah, man. How's it going, sleepyhead? Where you been? Okay. Now, good clearance everywhere. Did not mark my big boy. I know for a fact he is correct. I will look just in case. 10 UF 470. Yep, 470 UF 16. There we go, 16 volt. All right. All right. So there is that. So we do have a capacitor left, which is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'll set my screws right there. So I can start sliding this board back in. Come on, darling. Come on. Come on. There we go. And twist that around to right there. And while I've got this out, I actually want to Sharpie in this micro switch a little bit more because it's worn off just a fuzz from use. Not that it really matters, because it mostly stays in one position all the time, but it's those little details that just blacken it up just a little bit so you don't see that shiny when the case is on. I'd actually spray painted it, but the super glue had ate the paint. That was kind of sad. I would do something about that DIN switch, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to RGB mod this because I'm going to end up doing a composite RBG out of the Super CD-ROM 2 later. Okay. So, I have these leads sitting here. Grab. I honestly cannot remember for sure this went to if that right there went to the ground, which I believe it did, if it went to the ground or if it went to the positive side. So I need to pull that up really quick. Give me just one moment. Let's see here. That was the Game Tech. Game Tech US. Ooh, that's not how you spell region mod. Give me just one moment. Whoa! See here, having to scrub through his old install video real quick. This is so embarrassing because I cannot remember. See, that went to. Move your hand, Jason. This is getting ridiculous. I know he's got a wiring diagram. because I know I did not follow his video when I installed this. I want to say that I definitely followed a wiring diagram. But I want to say that was to ground. But I got to make sure. Because it would also make sense to be pulling from the power. Lord. This is thrilling. Admit it. This is thrilling stuff right here, isn't it? Me trying to remember if one pole went to ground or went to hot, and now I cannot find the information anywhere. Help me. Come here. Get back to the point. Get back there. I'm going to beat this guy. Because he definitely used to have instructions for this. This is so interesting, guys. I have failed this so bad. Oh. Okay, here we go. Alright, I gotta mute the mic for just a second so I can listen to this video real fast. Okay. I was correct. I was correct. It does appear that it went to the ground side. Because what he was doing was he was booping off of here, which this right here runs to ground. He was doing it on a duo, but it was still, he was running off the screw connects to ground, so there we go. So this has got to be the ground. Still want to pull that to the positive though. I swear that went to the positive side. It is absolutely driving me mental because I cannot find. Ha! Ha ha! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! It is a power wire. I watched that video about 12 different times, finally scrubbed through it, and found where he was talking about that wire. And it is, in fact, the power wire. Boy, did I almost mess up my region mod there. Because that would have been a boo-boo. And that wouldn't have been like a Yogian boo-boo. That would have been a big boo-boo. So let's go ahead and just globby glob. A little more solder on there. So I can go right here. And boy, it would be awesome if I could hold this still. Come on, get in there. There we go. Alright, there we go. So we pulled it to the power side of the capacitor, the positive side of the capacitor. So it's going to pull its voltage there like it should. Now, I'm actually going to take, very, very gently, caress that in here. There we go. Just so that does not go anywhere. And all I have left now is to rewire my switch.
The world never stops. It's constantly changing, evolving, moving forward. And so are we. Introducing Spectrum Mobile. Click to learn more. Built on America's largest and most reliable
I'm actually not going to do it like that. See, if I were awesome, what I would do
free talk and text
is I would solder all 3 points at once.
the best value.
The only problem is I am not awesome. Okay. Okay, and one more wire. Come on now, lay flat. Okay. Now, let's see if I've learned any tricks at all. And that is, I should be able to apply that flux right there. Boy, that's awkward. Nope. I still haven't got fancy enough to do that. Oh, come on. One last wire. You've got to be kidding me. One of these days, I'm going to get really good at drag soldering, I swear. It's just not going to be today. I actually want to make sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. I did not have that barely on that pad. Solder points are so tiny on this. It's so easy to bridge it. Like that. Yep. I'm refluxing this. Starting over. Starting over all the way with this one. The leads are too nasty. They're too long. And it's just going to keep doing that. What I should be able to do is go bam, bam, bam. Well, actually, middle, left, right. Because remember, easiest to hardest, right? Okay. Middle, much better that time. Left. Right. That left leg is lifted just a fuzz. There we go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Alright, we should be done testing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to give this just a second to cool off first. And let shift the camera up here. Okay. If I have not destroyed this, which there is an excellent chance I have it, I will need you. Okay. So you get this, and you get that. And the only reason I'm plugging it up like this is because I do not have just an AC adapter. Okay. Go ahead and slide in bonk. Should be you and you. Yep. And there it is. All right, we have it. Success. Boy, this cable is all kind of ooey. Yep, there it is. It is working. I said I don't care about the micro din. I don't care about the micro din at all. Not functioning. Let me get up here so I can talk now. I don't care at all about the micro din not functioning absolutely correctly, because once again, this DIN switch right here, I never use it. I supply all of my audio and video out of the Super CD-ROM 2, so it is it's not a big deal at all that messes up, because it's never going to be plugged in. Alright, so it is reassembly time. Let's get this baby wrapped up, shall we? Right there. Alright, there is a really pretty piece of plastic that goes right here, which contains 3 Phillips head screws, which go right up here, like so. We have to get the alignment just absolutely perfect to get it sitting in there. Okay, where is that daggum thing at? It is absolutely not the end of the world if I have lost it, because all it does is just give it a little barrier between ribbon cable in there. What does kind of not work out super cool is the fact that I now do not know exactly where I put the thing. And what's going to happen is, after I turn this camera off, it's going to take me all of 2 seconds to look on the floor and find it somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to give this one last shot to find that piece of plastic before I close this thing up. found it. I knew I was going to do that. As soon as I got it screwed in, I'd find it. But yeah, there are supposed to be 4 screws. But when I bought this, it was very apparent that someone had already been in it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know who was in it and what they were in it for, because it was never recapped. I mean, we just did that tonight. It's never recapped. It wasn't region modded. The only thing I can think of is they were trying to fix the DIN port and did not do a good job at it. And then just closed it up and said, oh well. I feel much, much better about this. Okay. Alright, switch is still in good spot. We can close this baby up now. Make sure nothing. One final scrub-a-dub around. Sure everything's in its place and everything has a place. This cable up here just a little bit. Get in there. And it's so dadgum tight. Come on. Okay. There we go. We've almost hit pay dirt. Now, a little tip on these right here, when you're going back into old threads on plastic, plastic strips out very, very easily. And then you got to do some stuff that's kind of wonky to make it not stripped anymore. So what I always recommend is start going backwards a half turn and then start tightening it up. There we go. Let's see what the actual damage was, what the uptime has been here. Because, oh my goodness, did it take a little longer than I expected. 3 hours and 28 minutes.